very bright. Got along real well. He loves to dance.
I can't wake him up and say, come go to the store with me. I can't do none of that. He just didn't deserve what they done to him.
All I see is the image of him getting out my car telling me he loved me. I'll never get that again, like ever. A lot of people loved him.
2 deaths. We first reported last week that a 20-year-old man was beaten and killed inside of his mother's home. His family has been looking for answers ever since. While no arrests have been made, we're now learning that the man's mother died as well over the weekend.
Tasha Lawson was the very definition of a devoted mother, nurturing, compassionate, and fiercely protective of her children. Her love for her family knew no bounds, and she poured every ounce of her energy into ensuring they were safe, supported, and surrounded by love. Among her children, she shared an especially powerful bond with her 20-year-old son, T. Andrick Lawson. The two were inseparable, not just mother and son, but best friends whose connection was built on deep trust, constant laughter, and unwavering support. They did everything together, from simple everyday routines to sharing heartfelt conversations. T. Andrick was a vibrant soul, full of light, humor, and an infectious spirit that brought joy to everyone around him. His presence lit up every room he walked into. He was known for his easygoing charm, his radiant smile, and a free-spirited nature that made him truly unforgettable. But the warmth of their world was shattered by a sudden and devastating tragedy. On April 2nd, after repeated calls to T. Andrick's phone went unanswered, concern quickly escalated. His brother, sensing that something was terribly wrong, went to the family's home on West Plum Street to check on him. When he arrived, he noticed a broken side window, a chilling sign that something was off. As he stepped inside, he was met with an unimaginable and horrifying scene, one that no loved one should ever have to endure. Emergency services, including Hazlehurst Police, Fire Department, and EMS, were immediately called to the residence, triggering the beginning of a heart-wrenching investigation that would forever alter the lives of those who loved T. Andrick most.
Hazlehurst Police, Fire, and EMS all responding to that home on West Plum Street. The GBI is now leading the investigation, but
upon entering T. Andrick's room, his brother would find his bloody and beaten body. Puncture wounds, bruises, and knots were all over his body. A medical examiner would later determine that he was also assaulted, with visible marks around his private areas. According to the Lawson family, T. Andrick was murdered inside his own bedroom, a place that should have been his sanctuary. They believe 2 men entered the home while Tasha was away and carried out the horrific attack. What haunts the family even more is the belief that his sexual orientation may have been a factor in the crime, that T. Andrick was targeted not just for who he was, but for how he loved. While authorities have launched an investigation, no arrests have been made, and the case remains open. The lack of answers has left his loved ones in an agonizing limbo, desperate for justice and struggling to find closure. For Tasha, the pain is even more personal. These weren't faceless intruders. She said she knew the men responsible. She had welcomed them into her home, shared meals with them, and offered them the kind of trust and kindness that made her house a home. That betrayal has deepened the family's grief, turning what was once a place of comfort into a haunting reminder of unimaginable loss. In the aftermath of the tragedy, the family moved quickly to honor T. Andrick's life. A funeral was held with loved ones in attendance, a time for mourning, reflection, and remembrance, leaving his family with only memories and ashes in place of the vibrant spirit they once held close. Determined to make sure T. Andrick's voice is not silenced, Tasha and her daughter have spoken publicly about their loss. In interviews with news outlets, they've bravely shared the pain of their experience, not only to honor his memory, but to raise awareness and demand accountability. Their fight for justice continues, fueled by love, heartbreak, and an unyielding desire for truth.
Break through the window just to get him here and find his brother's body. But he's in totally complete shock.
Lawson's brother called their family to say that T. Andrick had been beaten to death inside of his room. The details, too graphic to speak about.
I haven't seen his body or anything, but I know they say he's very brutalized and stuff. He's real bad.
And while the family believes Lawson's sexual orientation was a factor, the GBI did not confirm whether they're investigating this as a hate crime.
He died in his home, like, where he felt he was comfortable. he thought he was safe, and he was not safe. And then for it to be people that's literally right across the road or down the block, like, I can't.
Family believes 2 men are behind their brother's killing.
He just wanted to be him. He couldn't even be him, and everybody accepted him, but the men who couldn't accept themselves.
A light no longer shining in Hazelhurst.
He was very, very bright. Got along real well. He loved to dance.
I can't wake him up and say, come go to the store with me. I can't do none of that. He just didn't deserve what they done to him. He didn't deserve that. And the ones that did it, I got along with y'all. Y'all came to my house. Y'all ate my food, y'all did all that, but then y'all couldn't do this to my boy.
Rightfully so, Tasha Lawson was left utterly devastated, consumed by grief, anger, and the unbearable pain of losing her beloved son. The bond she shared with T. Andrick was unbreakable, and his sudden, violent death left a void in her heart that nothing could ever fill. She was not just mourning, she was shattered, and tragically, the weight of that grief would lead to yet another heartbreaking loss for the Lawson family. Just a little over a week after T. Andrick's senseless and untimely murder, on the evening of April 11th, around 6 p.m, Tasha passed away at a hospital in Waycross, Georgia. Her death came as a shock to many, though those closest to her say it was the tragic result of a broken heart. She simply could not carry the weight of her son's death any longer. Medical officials later confirmed her passing was caused by an aortic dissection rupture, a condition linked to severe heart complications. She was also found to have hypertensive and atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. While her death was officially ruled as due to natural causes, with no external factors cited, her family knows the deeper truth. She died of emotional devastation, of heartbreak too heavy to bear. Tasha's passing compounded the family's pain in unimaginable ways. Within just days, they had lost 2 pillars of their world. A son and a mother, best friends in life, now reunited in death. It was a crushing blow that added yet another layer of sorrow to a family already drowning in grief, trying to make sense of a series of losses that no one should have to endure. In a heartbreaking post, T. Andrick's cousin stated the following: "I'm mad as hell the way my cousin got taken away from his mama and us. I understand we all have a day. God will call us home. But the way T. Andrick was taken out was beyond cruel and so unnecessary. My little cousin was literally beaten to death and assaulted, left with puncture wounds and bruises and knots all over his body. Then for them to violate his private areas the way they did has me livid. Regardless of his sexuality, and nobody would want that done to them. No one of any age. I can't even imagine the pain Tasha has to carry and feel. That was her baby. Yes, she has other kids and loved them, but T. Andrick was hip to hip with her day in, day out. You saw her, you saw him. It literally broke her heart. Lord, please give us strength. Justice will be served."
That's exactly right. I just sat down with Tasha Lawson at her home a couple of days ago, and this just adds another layer of heartbreak for this family, which is already going through so much all at once. Now, as we first told you last week, 20-year-old T. Andrick Lawson was beaten to death inside of his bedroom on April 2nd at his mother's home on West Plum Street in Hazelhurst. No arrests have been made in his death. I sat down with Lawson's mother, you see her there, and his sister just last week as they spoke on the tragedy and their fight for answers. His funeral was held Thursday, but this weekend I was informed of his mother Tasha's passing. She died of heart complications at a Waycross hospital. The family says she truly died of a broken heart.
In the wake of these unimaginable losses, the family of T. Andrick and Tasha Lawson found themselves facing yet another heartbreaking task: preparing to lay Tasha to rest just days after burying her son. The emotional toll was already more than anyone should have to bear. But now they were also confronted with the financial strain of handling 2 tragic losses so close together. To help with expenses, the family began raising money, both to cover the costs of Tasha's funeral and to clean and restore the room where T. Andrick was so violently taken from them. That space, once filled with his laughter and light, had become a painful reminder of what they lost. It needed to be cleaned, not just physically, but spiritually, a step toward healing, even if healing felt so far away. Tasha leaves behind several children, siblings of T. Andrick, who are now left to navigate life without their brother and their mother, just 11 days apart. The weight of their grief is unimaginable, yet they continue to push forward, honoring both lives through their pain. Family members say they are determined to keep Tasha's legacy alive by continuing the fight for justice. Justice for the son she loved fiercely and mourned so deeply. Though no arrests have yet been made in T. Andrick's case, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation is actively pursuing the case, and the family remains hopeful that the truth will come to light. Their strength, even in the face of such devastating loss, is a testament to the bond Tasha and T. Andrick shared, and to a family that refuses to let their voices go unheard.